Oh, today I'm here to clear the air a little bit. There are some sneaky words in the financial sphere that tend to sound the same, but they are different, but we think they're the same, but they're not, so let's just iron that out. Hello friends, and probably family. Today we're gonna chat through the difference between budgeting and expense tracking. Oh, to kick us off real strong, expense tracking is reactive while budgeting is proactive. Let me explain what I mean. Expense tracking often looks like going back into your bank account every once in a while to reflect on the purchases you've made after you've already made them, and maybe lumping them all into certain logical categories so you can see how much you spent in that category. It's a great way to see where your money has gone after the fact. If you've been expense tracking, you're probably pretty familiar with the, I had $1,000 in checking at the start of this week and now I only have 300 type situation. In that kind of scenario, you go back to your bank account and try to figure out how you got there. There's not much of a plan for your money or how it will be spent. You just end most months realizing about 30 days too late how much you really ate out and saying for the 4th month in a row, oh, well, I'll just do less Amazon shopping next month. Funny how that seems to go. Budgeting, on the other hand, is deciding before you even spend a dime what each dollar you have is going to do. For example, you put a certain amount of dollars in a category for rent. Give your family $500 to spend on groceries that month. Let yourself have $50 just for fun, random expenses. Set aside $80 for future car repairs. You get it. You're making a plan for what each of your dollars' jobs will be before even ever spending them. Budgeting gives you more control and clarity about your money because you can see before the month ends roughly about how the month will end. No plan ever goes perfectly. Of course, you'll have to move some dollars around here and there, but you'll know when it's time to reel it in on the eating out when you see you only have $10 left for eating out. If you think about it like driving a car, expense tracking is cruising down the highway with your eyes only on the rearview mirror, only looking back to determine where you've been. First off, terrifying. Secondly, that does not give you a good sense of control. Third, how are you supposed to figure out where you can safely go or turn next? Budgeting, on the other hand, is pulling out your map to figure out where you want to go first before you even put the pedal to the metal, and making a plan for how you're going to get there. Now that you're looking ahead out the windshield instead of the rear view, you can start to see bumps coming in the road and prepare for them instead of running into them at 70 miles an hour. And since you have a plan for where you'd like to go and when you want to get there by, you know when you're good to pull over and grab a shake at Sonic and when you can't. Do you have enough time and gas to do that? Or should you save your time and gas to reach the place you want to get to first? Are you seeing what I'm saying here? So, how do you know if you've just been expense tracking this whole time? Well, I'll tell you. I was shocked to learn the other day that even Jesse Mecham, creator of the app You Need a Budget, admitted to using his app only as an expense tracker for the longest time before he truly moved into the budgeting headspace. What? Jess, you made the app. But then I think to myself, wait, no, I definitely used YNAB as an expense tracker too for years before I actually wrapped my head around productive budgeting. Okay, never mind, Jess, you off the hook. Jesse says that you might be an expense tracker rather than a budgeter if, 1, you don't establish budgeted dollar amounts at the start of the month, but rather you just write down how much you spent in a certain spending category at the end of the month. Like it's March 1st, and after you calculated the fact that you spent $200 eating out in February, you write down February, eating out $200. I mean, that's like straight up expense tracking in its purest form. You can't even disguise that. 2, you consistently budget the exact same amount to a budgeting category every month, even though you always spend more than that amount every single month. This is how, despite the fact that you're budgeting every month, you can still rack up more and more credit card debt. You're completely ignoring the budgeting guidelines you've set for yourself. I've been guilty of this at many a time in my life, and I would be lying if I said I didn't do this just last week. So you're not alone. Or 3, you rarely, or let's be honest, never check your category balances to see if you can afford something before spending. But you always make sure to record your purchase to your budget after the fact. As if writing it down makes it more responsible or something? Well, luckily, this is a very solvable problem. I would guess that almost all of us probably start out simply expense tracking before we realize it's not quite enough to make a significant impact on our financial decisions. So, if you want to move away from just expense tracking and start truly budgeting, here are 4 steps Jessie of You Need a Budget recommends to help you get on the right track. First, if you've been expense tracking for a while, use your spending history to determine comfortable dollar amounts for each category in your budget. Decide at the start of the month how much you'll give yourself for groceries or car fuel, clothes, or even meals on the go, but remember that you should only budget dollars you have. Don't budget out a future paycheck before you have it. You don't want to think you have more dollars to spend in your budget than you actually do. If it's not in the bank, don't budget it. Give every dollar you do have a job that it's going to do, even if that job is savings, so that you know how far all of your current dollars can take you. You won't feel in control of your money until you have a plan, so carving out a plan is a hugely important step. Secondly, you have to consult the budget before making a purchase. A written down budget is only a pipe dream until you can start looking to the budget to answer the question, can I actually buy this thing right now? If your budget says you don't have enough money in your home improvement category to buy a new shoe organizer for the entryway, you have 2 options. 1, you can listen to your budget and say, okay, I guess we'll have to buy the shoe organizer another month. Or 2, you can look at your budget, see what other categories might have some extra money in it that you won't need that month, and move it over to your home improvement category so you can buy that thing this month. Just know that you'll have less money to spend in the category you borrowed money from, but that's okay because you got your new shoe organizer and that's what you really wanted this month. Man, you know you've really reached adulthood when a shoe organizer is your number 1. Third, identify what your key goals are and make a small space in the budget for each one. In other words, trim a few of your normal categories to free up some extra money to send to your goals. Can you get by with $10 less in your eating out category so you can move that money over to get the Instant Pot you really want? It'll speed up meals after work and you won't have to eat out as much. Budgeting doesn't have to be restrictive. It can also very much get you exactly what you want. And Jessie's last piece of advice seems a bit odd, but it's totally the secret sauce. Allow yourself to get addicted to progress and let that addiction motivate you to squeeze your daily spending so that you can boost your progress on your goals. Let your enthusiasm to live the life you want guide you to be more intentional with your dollars rather than just trying to cut spending because you think it's what you should do. And here's the big kicker, the sign that you've made it. You'll know you've fully transitioned from expense tracking to budgeting when you use your budget to tell your money what to do, instead of using it to tell you what your money already did. Does that make sense? That's the power of a good, true budget. You are in control, and you have security knowing that you've got a plan that can work, because you can see right in front of you how it's gonna work. So again, to sum it up, first step, budget to zero. Give every dollar in your bank account a job it's going to do, whether it's buying groceries, paying rent, crushing your student loans, or padding your dog's vet fund. Secondly, look to your budget before you spend. It will tell you whether you're able to purchase that thing right now or if you might want to wait till later. Third, if there isn't enough money in a category to buy the things you want, decide which category in the budget you're going to borrow that money from before you spend it. As you keep following your plans and seeing that progress, this will be the fuel to help you keep reaching your goals. That's it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, numbers 2 and 3 are harder habits to build than they seem, but they are absolute game changers that will start to give you the confidence, security, and motivation you need to actually start to build the financial life you want. Now, tracking all of this in a journal or on an Excel sheet can get complicated or a little messy. If you're interested, Jesse's app, You Need a Budget, was created for this exact budgeting strategy. It makes it easy to divvy out all your dollars to your different categories, super simple to move money from one category to another, and even has tools to let you track your net worth and help you see how quickly you're spending your money. To check it out, go to youneedabudget.com and get your hands on a free 34-day trial, because 30 days is never quite enough, is it? I'm happy to say that you do not have to enter any card info when you sign up for a free trial, because we hate being tricked into subscriptions, and we know you do too. There are also tons of resources over there on the website to help you learn how to use the app, the best strategies to save your money, how to pay off your debt without breaking the bank, everything. Just give it a shot for 34 days. There's no reason not to. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Welcome back, budget party people. People that like to party on a budget. Let's move into the action steps. You're making a plan for what each Joller's Dob will be. Joller's Dob? Are you freaking kidding me?